I'm Chloe. I'm super relaxed now, so thanks, Carolyn. I am a therapeutic body worker. I do a few different modalities like massage, craniosacral therapy, reflexology, my abdominal massage, and holistic pelvic care. And I'm also a fertility awareness instructor. So using primary and secondary science, I help women learn about their hormonal health and how to make daily decisions around avoiding or achieving pregnancy. So I thought we would start it out with a joke. What do you call a woman using the rhythm method? Pregnant. Pregnant, exactly. Whether she wants to be or not, and that can be sad either way. So the myth that I wanted to do today was that women have a 28-day cycle and they ovulate around day 14. This myth is so big that if you are pregnant and you go into the doctor's office, they will likely base your due date based off of this myth, assuming that you ovulated on day 14, and then therefore predict your baby's due date for that time, whether or not they're actually 38 weeks or 41 weeks. So this is pretty ingrained in our culture. Also, there's a lot of fertility apps out there right now that assume a 28-day cycle as well, and will have really nice predictions around when you're probably fertile and going to ovulate and when you're going to start your period. There's probably a lot of unplanned pregnancies around that. Or there's also probably a lot of women who have been trying to get pregnant for a long time using those days and are really sad because they don't know what's going on. So, let's go to the truth. A healthy cycle can be anywhere between 24 and 35 days. And even with that said, if we think of what the standard of a 14-day, ovulating around 14 days is, that's obviously, day 14 is going to look way different in a woman who has a 24-day cycle and a 35-day cycle. And to be clear, a cycle is day 1 of bright red blood of a period to day 1 of the next period. Yep. So what I do is I love data and I love being able to look at things. I don't like to hear people say, you know, I'm pretty sure that this is when it happens, and I think I felt some cramping, so that's probably when. I really want to know what's going on. So I teach people how to use checking their cervical fluid and checking their basal body temperature for their fertility. So some other truths: you are only fertile for 3 to 5 days during the cycle, and it takes an egg 12 to 24 hours to dissolve. So again, that 14 days is pretty irrelevant. We're looking at other completely different factors in each woman. From that, so I'll kind of go over what a cycle looks like. You have 2 phases of the cycle. The first phase is the follicular phase, also known as estrogen phase. In this phase, the body's cooler. We need it to be cool because we need cooler temperatures for our bodies to eventually produce an egg. Second phase of the cycle is the progesterone phase. It's the luteal phase. It's warmer. It's nice and warm. So even just by knowing whether someone's trying to avoid pregnancy or achieve, just by knowing what a woman's cycle is like, we can say a lot about her hormone health for when she is ready, or to even go and bring to her doctor to say like, hey, you know, I'm ovulating on day 10. I should probably get that checked out. Or my luteal phase is only 7 days and I'm not doing so hot and I'm really running out of energy. So we've got a lot of key information just from that. The other thing is, so I mentioned checking cervical fluid. You cannot get pregnant without cervical fluid. It's the nectar of life. It's going to keep sperm alive for up to the 3 to 5 days. So you could have intercourse on Monday but not get pregnant until Friday. It's pretty cool. I mean, we really need that stuff, and we need a lot of it if we're trying to make a baby. On the plus side, if we are trying to avoid pregnancy and we see cervical fluid, we're going to steer clear because that's going to get us so pregnant. And if you don't want to be, then you know that. The reason that we're taking our temperature is because that's the only way we can confirm ovulation. That is a tried and true thing. And no one's going to start to, I'm not going to tell you how, just in case, because there are rules with everything. But when we get to that progesterone phase, like I said, our body warms up. And the reason that it does that also is in that phase, it also dries up our cervical fluid and it makes it warm enough so we can't get pregnant again. So if you've heard that there's double ovulation, it's not really double ovulation because you only ovulate once, but you release 2 eggs. But that's always within 24 hours, they found. So you're not going to get pregnant on, we'll say, day 17 for fun, and then get pregnant again on day 23. That's not going to happen. And that's also a really nice thing to know. So say you don't get pregnant, you don't have a temp shift, and you don't ovulate until day 20. We know from that that your baby isn't going to be due a week early. It's going to be due a week late. So when they're talking about induction, that baby's still actually being fully cooked. And that's really important to know as well, and to communicate with your doctor. So you guys are both on the same page, and we're not doing unnecessary interventions that lead to other unnecessary interventions that can have lifelong effects on both mother and baby. Okay.